Good morning. As promised, I'm going to show you how to assemble a bow tie lei and how the ribbons securely hold the dollar bills in place. I want everybody to be able to make their own, and this is the question I get the most. Okay. Shout out to Pusheen. I love repurposing boxes. Okay, so for the outer ones, I like to use 1/4 inch. And I don't know specifically the length of ribbon you'll need because I always keep them on the spool and just use two, but I know people might not have multiple. So at the end, I'll measure and add some inches to it and give the best guesstimate. 3/8 inch. So the two outer ones are 1/4. The middle, I'll do 3/8. Maybe just about 6 inches at the end. You have to secure this and this side. I'll use tape. So you want to securely tape these down. Make sure your ribbon is straight. Okay, let's tape it about right here. Tension is what you want. You want this to be taut, kind of like ukulele strings. Remember, this is taped at one side and taped on this side. So it's kind of tight to the table. Okay, so we're gonna pull up the red, and that's the center ribbon, and I'm gonna push it down. So it's secure because these ribbons are taped on both sides. Or take G-Dub and put them through the outer ribbons because we're weaving it. So the red will be behind and the white will be above. And you just want to make sure that you keep these straight. So when I pull this down, I put the wings on top of this one. Put it down so it's secure. And again, these are taped on both sides over the end. Oops. Make sure you're always putting the right way. So then I slide that down. But now, because I like G-Dub to be on top, I'll slide the green behind it. G-Dub. So with the white on top, the red underneath, and the white on top. We're just weaving it through, and then you pull it on top of the green. Well, the lighter is always up on top, and the green is underneath. And see, if this wasn't tight, this is what it would look like. And it'd be too hard to try to make it with all this loose like this, with your ribbon not taped. It won't hold in place for you. So it will fall apart like that. So I think that might be what's happening. And then you're trying to like put it in there like this and it's not really working. So that's why it's important to pull these and put tension on them. And then because I undid it, we want to scooch these down and make it secure again. I just keep holding the tension, like holding it tight, and I'll just move the tape down. Just pull. Make sure your ribbon doesn't get tangled. Okay, and let's say we're doing a half of one, and then ribbon, and then the other half if you didn't want to put a full 100. I just want to show you that once you tie this end off, so because we created this tension, put them on top. Okay, let me pull okay, so I'm pulling so that I can make sure these are all tight. Like not crunched, but see how it just had a little tiny bit. Now let's pretend that I was ending here and I tie this off in a knot. You tie it really close to right here. Okay, so knots here or whatever. If I were to remove this, you see how these aren't going anywhere at all because there'll be a knot right here, there's not right here, and the way you have it woven, it holds them in place and they're not coming out at all because there's tension, but not too much because you don't see it curling. It's just woven in between, but that's why you have to have 3 ribbons. Okay, hold on, let me secure this other side again. Okay, how to recover from this now that we just kind of did that is by, like I said, you push your nail above G-Dub's face or your finger, whatever, and just kind of re-tighten them and see. I gotta put that back on top of that. Under, over, under, over, under. Okay, I put 49 on one side because I'm gonna put $1 at the bottom, right here, to decorate it in a fan, kind of. That's the plan or idea. So right here, we're gonna flip it because this will be the neckline, and when it bends like this, we don't want G-Dub's face to now start going upside down. So the next one I put on here, I'm gonna flip his face this way. You could just hold it and tight if you need to over here. Okay, I'll just go through, make sure these are all the way snug. So I'll pinch right here at the very end to keep it there before we move it. And like, again, since there's tension on it and we secured them and they're woven in here, it will not come undone once this side is tied, because this is just as if like we were going to tie it. But now I'm going to move it like this. So I'm going to tie this in somewhere else to where we can start fresh from here. MacGyver rigged it to the little end of this metal desk I have where my cricket sits. Okay, and then it goes over here to the table. And then I'll just, now I can pull it a little bit better. Okay, so I'm just going to push him down a little bit. His face is supposed to now go this way, because remember, that's the neckline and we're switching it. This is the halfway mark. Okay, so now we're flipping everything this way. So don't forget to flip your bottoms as well. Okay, now that we're done, I just lift up one side and pull it tight. And it's a little tricky because you have to keep pulling it tight while tying it off. I first start with the outer 2 and secure those by double knotting it. And then I take the center ribbon and pull it and tie it randomly to either side. And then I just tie a bunch of random knots to make sure they're all secure. And as long as you held the tension to it and tied it off correctly, it will not move. I also measured, each ribbon will be about 8.5 feet. And then I'll put these pinwheels at the bottom of each side. Okay, thanks for watching, and comment any questions, I will respond.